Hi guys, welcome to Monday night. It is January 19th. Yeah, oh yeah, it's Martin Luther King Day. Yeah, glad you guys are here. At the end, I have an invite for those that feel a little crazy and uh there's some of you I know that are going to say yes. Patty Stevens, you're going to say yes for sure. Ellen, I'm pretty sure you're going to say yes too. John, I hope you do. It's about convention and it's about the talent show. I have an idea. I have an idea. So stay tuned for that. All right, let me just go through these and then we're going to talk about a business approach. We're going to talk about approaching from a business standpoint that makes it to handle objections before they actually happen. And then I have a PDF worksheet that you can print off that you can actually click on and look at to help make sure that you're not getting in your own way with business approaches. How's that sound? Brilliant. Eh? That was for you. That was for you, Ellen. Eh? Or do your French versions do it different? Parlez-vous eh? I don't know. Okay, this is where we are. You guys, everybody should have a peak performance back. And here's something that um this is something that I just learned, which is how about if you guys call your customers and go, hey, are you taking the peak performance pack? So I could say, hey, Michelle, are you taking the peak performance pack? And if you say no, go, I have been on it for this many years, for maybe 14. I cannot function without it. How would you be interested in learning how you can earn a free box? Like, do you have two people that know and love you and would try something just because you asked? Imagine if you had 10 customers and they all enroll two. Wouldn't that be interesting? Just two. It's kind of funny. So your to-do list, write this down, is I want you guys to call your customers and ask that same thing. If I could help you, just call two. Let me tell you what to say, help them know what to say, and help them see where the video is, and just kind of go from there, right? And so that's your first homework assignment. Call your customers. This is an $81 value. It's $81 of something free by making two phone calls. $81 of free something just by making two phone calls. And once you try this, Michelle or whoever, you're going to be hooked like me. I've been buying this box every month for, actually, I buy the next one every month for 14 years. If you know anybody that's on the health, the total, lovingly called the old fart box, this is what I take again in row 4, right? How many of you guys that have people that have kind of tiptoed around the idea of sharing Melaleuca? They just call two people tonight before 5. People that know and love you, your mom, your sister, your best friend, to say, hey, I shop here. I love it. I don't know why I've never talked to you about this. All right. So let's help people earn some of this stuff. Imagine if half your customers, 10, enrolled 4. 10 people enrolling 4. That's complicated math. Patty will have to help us with that one. So she's a realtor. She just complicated math all the time. All right. How many people are getting close to this? Is anybody working towards this? Let me just bring up my thing. Anybody working towards this? Oh, Leanne, you're there now. Hi. Anybody?
Looking toward it.
Okay. All righty. Yeah, we still have time, you guys. You still have time. But if you remember, we did the math on this. Have you guys done your math on how this works? I've asked you guys last week to do your math. Take your volume. How many people did their math? I asked you to do it. Did you, Alan? How many people do you need? Do you remember? I think we did your math together,
I,
didn't we?
I yeah, I just don't remember, but I need
31, I think.
something. Yeah, you got a better memory than me. That sounds about right. That
31,
sounds
I
about
think that's about right. Yeah. That's because there was a few people that were around the same. So if you don't learn your math, you're not going to know how to get to where you need to go. That's just, you guys have got to learn your math. You've got to learn where are you and what do you need to get to the next month and work towards that goal, right? Because this is what we talked about. In fact, is this you, Ellen, 950? With your volume? This is somebody on here. You were close to that.
It might be I was close to that in volume.
Yeah, I think this is you. 31 people and you're
It's
on the same.
either it's either her or Doris, because I know you did Doris's too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I need four.
yeah, Doris, this was you too, because I remember didn't want to say, and when I looked, I said, you actually have more people than what you thought,
Yeah.
right? So,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. I need 14. I need 14 people.
okay. Well, that's great. That's
Yeah. Yeah.
all right. So again, you guys, when you help people get to directors, it's about a $500 paycheck, anywhere from about 385 to 500, depending on how many product points people are ordering. So this could be a great paycheck for February if you focus on the critical activity, right? Um, so if you remember, later on in the month, we're going to do a strategy session on the 29th of this month. We're going to talk about your accomplishments and we're really going to strategize for the next month. For those of you that are watching this, we're going to do this every month. At the end of the month, looking at what you did, looking at where you need to be. So I'm changing the concept of going, oh, we just need to, enroll 4 people. No, we need to look at what we need to do as a total business path and plot it out week by week as to how you want to get there. So that's why this is important. So the 22nd, this Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific, is going to be a Q&A section. Part of it is going to be you asking me questions, and part of it is going to be kind of a quiz to see what you guys know. And just from business, from product, and all that kind of stuff. Um, because my goal is to get you guys in a position where you are more confident in what you're doing. Because with confidence, knowledge comes confidence. The more you know, the more you're confident in what you're doing. I feel like sometimes people are afraid to pick up the phone because they feel like they don't know all the answers, and you don't need to know all the answers, right? You seriously don't need to. But I know that because there's a lot of things I haven't known, but I know how to say, I don't know that, but I can certainly find out for you. It doesn't kill you, to be honest. That was my dad. I learned that from my dad. My dad was real good about saying, I don't know, but I can find out for you. To prepare for this, think about the questions that you've never wanted to ask, or that you've wanted to ask and it never happened, or you forgot. Write them down this week. And so we're going to be doing this once a month to have a Q&A section, right? I used to do Q&As at the end of my times, but our times have gotten longer, and so I'm just going to focus it because some of those Q&As have turned into me being on here for 2 hours, right? And so I decided to take it and pull it into another section. This is also Jen Shanley does this, and she had said a long time ago, and I'm like, well, we always do our Q&A, but Laura Beitler had actually suggested I do something like this too, to help really focus on people and to quiz back. So that is why we're doing that, is to see what you guys know. Because you guys, here's the deal. You're not allowed to miss because you're afraid I'm going to ask you a question. Don't be that person that hides from me, okay? Because I will hunt you down. All right. The second one, January 29th. This is going to be a real exciting time. This one single thing is going to help you stop being overwhelmed about what you need to do and stop being frustrated. You're going to learn to plan your month, which we're going to break it down into plan your week, which you have to break it down into plan your day. And I talked to actually a few people about learning to say no to something, to say yes to the critical activity. Start over, you guys. The most important thing you can do is develop relationships and set appointments. And the reason I say develop relationships, whether it's social media or in person, is because there's people that have said, well, I don't have anyone to call. Then you're not spending the time on your engagement list. All right. That is so important. So come with you on the 12th, you guys, you got paid and you got your business report. Look at your business report and have some numbers in front of you. One of which is, how many personal customers do you have? You need to have that number. How many personal customers? Number 2, do you have any directors, personal directors? And number 3, what's your organizational volume? Okay, those are things that are super, super important for you to know, for you to know where you need to go. The next list that you need to come with, who were some people that enrolled as a category 2 and 3 never did anything? Have those people also on your list. So come with that piece of paper because we're going to do some work, all right? All right, I'm going to stop my screen sharing here for just a minute because I got to change directions on what I'm doing. And, okay, hold on. Sorry. Sorry. Okay, coming back to you guys. All righty, share my screen. All right. Okay, this is about positioning network marketing as a business model, not a pitch. Positioning as a business. And it's kind of interesting because I've been thinking about going, if I was to talk to you, let's just say Patty was in something, name an MLM, Patty. What were you in before? Advocare? Advocare. I could talk to Patty about, let's just talk about the compensation plan, right? And I don't want to try to persuade her, but I'd rather educate her on what the difference is. And you have to just look at your speech and your talk to think, are you trying to persuade people or are you just trying to educate them? And education can come in personal experiences. It can also come in statistics. Showing structure and lifestyle need you guys. This goes back to your stories about how you're like, just this past month, I've been able to, you guys, I came to one of my Zoom meetings with a baby in my lap, right? And actually I came to a couple of them, and some of you didn't know I had a baby in my lap, but I did. I've had a Zoom meeting where I had a toddler sitting beside me with a book. And I've been sharing that story going, this is my lifestyle with, having a newborn and a toddler, and I'm still doing and really experiencing these pockets of time. That's the lifestyle and the structure, because my system is so that I can actually do my work with a nap, which is super easy to do when I've got, a toddler reading a little book to me. I can sit there sending out some messages. Normalized income. I can also say, I don't pay for my mail local orders. After my first order, I actually never paid for them because I made a paycheck, or actually would be my second one. My first paycheck was $37. What? That's exciting. That's my first paycheck. My third paycheck was $3,400. I remember that. So I haven't really paid for my mail local orders since then because I'm always making a paycheck. So my consumables are paid for because of what I do. What's your story? How much of your Maluka bill are you paying for? That's kind of an interesting story. It doesn't have to be a lot, right? My mom, I help watch her income videos. She just had a $32 paycheck for what she did 13 years ago for one day. She's been making money every month for one day of work 13 years ago. Isn't that amazing? She's made over $5,000 for one day of work. But you also need to speak to the decision makers. So if you're talking to a couple, make sure you're talking to the right person, right? It's not always the lady that shops. It's not always the lady that needs the job. I want you to look at this as how people experience you before they hear the opportunity. Because if I'm going to go to work with Patty, I want to like Patty. I want to trust what she's saying. And this is when I'm talking to people in the way that I talk to about a business, I say, I like to do a phone shop because honestly, I want to pick people that I want to work with. I want to pick people to work with that I like. and that have good communication skills and that are people because I get to choose who I work with. But so does everybody else. Are you somebody that people want to work with? And that's how you need to make sure that you're educating, talking about your lifestyle, having your stories, your income. Okay. So what this looks like online, you guys, is one of the things, and this is what Kim just got done saying, and this is a training I did while I was driving there from Grow, is literally hearing somebody say, your online presence um, is helping you to pre-qualify people before you ever talk to them. Because if people don't like who you are online, they're not going to continue to follow or talk to you. So you're sifting just through your content. Does that make sense? So like if people hate Idaho, because we tend to be a conservative state and they hate Idaho and they think we're all skinheads, which we're not, but there was a group that was here. Yes, we had neo-Nazis here. It was a small group. They just had a really good marketing. Seriously, we did, Ellen. They had their own compound and everything. Um, they're not gonna come to talk to me if they have this whole different perspective about Idaho, right? They're just not. If they don't like the fact that I, talk about my boys all the time or I talk about date night, if they don't like that, so what are you posting? And this is why social media stuff is so important so that you know what you're presenting and that you're being consistent because people want to like you before they ever want to listen to you, right? So the problem is why people shut down is because you sound like you're pitching them. And I know this is the fear a lot of people have. I don't want to sound like I'm pitching anybody, right? But here's the big one. I've been burned before. And I think that is the biggest one that we have to compete with is that burn before. And for those of you that have been in other network marketing or MLMs, I feel like you have a bigger platform than like me because you can say, look, like Patty was in Advocare. Patty, what were some of the things that you've been in, honey?
The list is shorter what I haven't been in. I was Amway, I was beauty control, I was pampered chef for like 5 minutes. I did some travel thing I can't even remember the name of, Advocare, um, some calling card thing. I probably have done 10.
Okay.
I was looking for something. Yeah.
But see, Patty can say, if I was to say, look, I've been burned before, Patty can say, I get it. I've been in like 10 of these before I found this one that I have now. This is why I can tell you why it's different. So if you guys have been in everything, wear it like a badge. Like you've got your battle wounds, right? That's a good thing that you've experienced the rough stuff. The rough stuff is what helps you to know why this is so much better. Because Patty's told me some things about these others. I mean, they all had products that she liked, right? She wouldn't have been in them. But the fact that she's able to say, well, let me tell you why this doesn't work and let me tell you why this is different is huge. So think about that. If people say I've been burned before, pull from your past experience. I was the chick that paid the $500 to be a part of ACN. That's the internet phone thing. I don't want to.
That's what it was.
What, Patty?
Sorry, I didn't know I was on. I thought I was muted. That's the one it was.
ACN, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to recruit. I don't want to bother people. Most people aren't rejecting you. They're reacting to how network marketing has been presented to them. Right? So I don't want to recruit. Sorry, I just hit this wrong way.
Uh-oh.
When you say I don't want to recruit, of course, the answer is we're helping people shop. I mean, have you ever referred somebody to, a movie or a restaurant? We're just helping people. And when you help remind people that our motto, our job is to enhance the lives of those we touch. Patty, would you keep track of them in the chat box because I can't see? And interrupt me if something
Yeah.
needs to be addressed. So again, they aren't rejecting you. They're reacting to how networking was presented to them. So they already have a prejudgment. You guys, this is absolutely huge. It's never rejecting you. Never, 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 never. This is all things that people have experienced that are real, and our job is to let them know why we're different. Because I don't think, like, if I was going to say, Michelle, I loved, like I saw on Facebook that your cholesterol is really, really high. Could I tell you how I lowered mine 55 points? Michelle doesn't have cholesterol. I'm just making that up. She's not going to think I'm bothering her, would she? If you had cholesterol issues, if you were, had Hashimoto's and I went, Doris, I just saw that you had Hashimoto's. I've reversed mine. Can I tell you how I did it? Would you be open to that? She's not going to go, no. I love my Hashimoto's. I love my high cholesterol more than anything, right? Okay, people don't hate network marketing. They hate how it's usually introduced. Because who does network marketing? Everybody! Realtors. Crystal's in network marketing before she even found Melaleuca. How do you think she built her massage business? She didn't run an ad on TV. It's her chatterbox self. Your video, Crystal, on muscle memory and how it retains trauma was fabulously brilliant. I loved it so much. Over promising. And I just heard somebody today talk about how they promised to help someone, how they were promised that someone would help them build a Melaleuca business, and then their enroller never showed up. And I went, oh my gosh, am I over promising that? Pressure language, and then talking to people instead of with them. The majority of your conversation needs to be questions. And next week, I'm going to post some questions that we're going to start asking every single time. I'm going to have a little flyer for you, that kind of stuff. So when it feels like persuasion, people protect themselves. And the way that you don't persuade them is you ask them questions to help them come up with the answers, right? And of course, one of the best questions is to say, Doris, if you don't change anything, where are you going to be in 6 months? That's a huge question, right? And for those of you that have financial goals or, retirement goals, or I'm going to have a baby in August goals. Is anybody on here going to have a baby in August? Then something's got to change, right? Okay, pitching versus the business model. Pitching sounds like, let me explain everything. This will change your life. You'd be perfect for this. But the business model is, I'm exploring something that has really helped me. And knowing you, Ellen, I really think this would help you. I run this like a business. This is not a hobby. This is a business. And it's not for everybody. And I say that. It's not for everybody because it's not. Shopping online is not for everybody. You can't get upset when somebody doesn't want to shop online. Like, there are some people that like to go touch and feel. They like the experience of going to the store, right? Confidence comes from neutrality, not hype, you guys. You are more confident if you don't really care what their answer is. You're just sifting through people. This is why that book, Questions Are the Answers by Alan Pease, I love so much, is because he breaks some numbers down several times. And after you read it and read it, you go, I just need to get through my numbers. So my question for you guys is, when is that time you are going through things? When are you making your calls? Because you got to get through numbers. Because you're sifting. Who are the people that want to get healthy, save money, and shop online? And that is not everybody. This is not for everybody. And you have to understand that. But you also have to understand, go back, if you are over explaining and over promising and doing all this, you are pushing people away that this may be for, but you're making it weird, right? So defining a business model, when people say, I say this is a business model, this is a business model is how value is delivered. How do we deliver value here, you guys? How are you delivering the value of what we do? The products, the money, the services. How do we generate income? How systems create leverage? We have amazing systems. And the thing that I have been this past year is really almost pressurizing you guys to use systems. Our systems are amazing. But if you're not using them, you can't teach it. I just was on this training with Kim Massengale. She's a national whatever. She talked about her, they call it accountability sheet. It's a working Zoom sheet. And she told the people that were on there, if you're not using this, you don't have a business plan. You don't know what you're doing. And she said, use your sheet every day. Use it. She goes, I'm a paper and pencil person. I like writing it down. I like to see what I've done. And it was amazing saying, do it every day. Plan it out. What are you going to do for the week? Write down what you've done. Every day you've got to get through this sheet or you're not going to build your business the way that you need to do it. Language that changes everything. Stop saying that. Opportunity and start saying business model. We're not recruiting, we're expanding, we're partnering. You guys, we don't have a downline. We have a referral network. We have an organization. I put that in there. This is not a side hustle. This is a systems and consistency. Okay. So if you're to say, I have a business model and I'm looking for people that would partner with me. We are a referral network business. We have a strong customer base. What I'm always working with is the system that we have, which helps you to build consistency. That sounds like a solid business framework, doesn't it? So these are the words. Take a picture of it. Write it down. These are the words I want you to work into your vocabulary. And you guys, copy it, paste it, keep it in front of you, and start using these words. And the more you say it until you can just absolutely say it in your sleep, just like happy birthday or we wish you Merry Christmas, it's going to make you very credible because it's just going to roll off your tongue like you're saying, yeah, this is, I love this restaurant downtown. It's called Tito's. They have really great pizzas and they have this new salmon dish, with homemade gnocchi. I love it. It's no big deal. Hey, you guys, you're not convincing anyone. Your job is not to persuade people, not to chase them, prove, defend. You don't have to defend Melaleuca. Our whole thing that we do is enough. Your job is just to clearly explain what we're doing, why we're doing it. Let the adults decide. Create an easy exit. Easy exit. If this is not for you, that's okay. You can tell me no, we're still going to be friends. It's okay for people to tell you no. I know some of you dread, and here's the deal. When I have listened to you guys talk, I have learned that the reason why you're so afraid of no's is because you've only talked to 3 people. So if you get a no, that's 1/3 of everybody that you've ever talked to. That's a lot of people. So the more people you talk to, the more you realize this is probably not for me. It's not good timing for this person. This person isn't really ready to hear this. I didn't really hit them the right way. I need to do it another way. And then there's some people, there's that small group that goes, I'm glad they said no, I don't want to work with that person. That happens, right? I love this line. I took this quote from somebody else. When people feel safe to say no, they listen better. Right? They listen better. I have somebody that wanted to present something to me. And this person has a hard time hearing no about anything. They just want to pound it into me until I see their point of view. And so she had something and I just went, I know, I just don't even want to hear you because you don't ever listen. Right? The neutral invite formula, the 3 parts, okay. The context is why you. This is part of the follow the process script. Why you? Why are you talking to this person? What do you like about them from a business standpoint? You guys, you can go straight to personality. I can literally, with everybody on this call, let's see who's still on here. I pretty much can talk to everyone as to why I know I would love to have them on my team. And that's how I would approach them. This is why I'm talking to you, Crystal. This is what I know about you and your work ethic and your roll up your sleeve attitude and your right personality. This is why I'd love to work with you. Leanne, this is why I'd love to work with you. The clarity, briefly, is what is super important. And if you are talking too much, now you're persuading. Short and sweet and to the point, right? And then the opportunity to, I'd love to work with you. I think you'd be great. But this is not for you. You can tell me no. That's important that you always say that, even as a customer. I'd love to show you, Leanne, where I'm shopping. I thought of you because I know you love to shop online. You're talking about whatever she's talking about, lowering cholesterol. This has helped me lower my cholesterol. It's an online shopping site. We order online. We get discounts. I save so much money by shopping here. After you see this, if you don't hate to shop online, you can say no. We'll be fine. That's it. No hype, no pressure, just what it is, along with a little personal story. I run a referral-based business model alongside my life. It's product-driven, not salesy. If it's not a fit, no pressure at all. How's that for short and sweet? What do? I run a referral-based business alongside of all my life. I'm a grandma of two now. Sounds like, talk about imposter syndrome, Crystal. I feel like an imposter saying that. It's product driven, not salesy. I say I don't sell anything. I'm the education part of the company. And seriously, if it's not a fit, there's no pressure. You can tell me no, but this is why I called you. To the point. High level professionals, they explain everything. They don't explain everything up front. They're always setting an appointment to learn more. They don't chase uninterested people or people they don't want to work with. They don't apologize for earning income. You guys, you don't need to apologize for bad that you're on the phone trying to help their lives. And that's the part I think I hear from a lot of you. You forget that you're on the phone trying to help them. I can look at here, and I don't think Patty feels bad that she earns an income by helping people buy a home. She didn't apologize for it. She go, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm going to talk to you about buying this house on the beach. And, oh, do you mind if I send this to you? Crystal doesn't apologize or feel bad that she charges people to really do some intense work on their body so they feel better. Right? Doris, I don't think you feel bad for getting an income teaching students. I do not feel bad by charging people to stay at my house. I don't feel bad about it. I work hard to get them here. Do not shrink or change to be likable. Be who you are, right? They let the structure speak for themselves. You guys, we have an amazing system. Everything from top to bottom. If you're going to have somebody new and you're going to talk about pockets of time, you better be able to show them a working Zoom and say, look, this is me every day. I just go through the steps. You can break this apart, 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there, 15 minutes, and you can work through this. This is how structured we are. But if you don't have that sheet to show it, how are you going to prove that this is what you do? Okay. When you lead with a business model, in other words, we're not persuading, we're not all that. You're going to have fewer objections because you're going to keep it short and sweet. And you're going to let the presentation do most of the talking. You're going to get better questions because people can think they're not feeling like they're putting up a wall because you're over talking it. You're going to have higher quality partners, you guys. This is important. This is a tough lesson for me. It's like, oh, you're homeless. You need a job. Let me help you. That literally was me at one point in time. And less emotional exhaustion, you guys. Some of you guys get so exhausted because you take it all so very personally. Again, I'm looking at Patty and Crystal because they're right here next to me. But imagine Patty going, somebody just said no, they didn't want to buy my house. This isn't for me. I can't sell any houses. Real estate's stupid. It's a scam. People told me no.
I have those days. I'm kidding.
I know the frustration of being a realtor. They look, I gotta look, I gotta look, I don't know, I gotta look. But there is that frustration, which is kind of what we have. Imagine somebody scheduling an appointment with Crystal, then canceling. Oh my God, massage therapy is not for me because somebody canceled their appointment. Oh my gosh, does anybody else have this happen? I can't do this job, right? Confidence equals clarity and detachments. When you're confident in what you're doing, when you are confident and understand not 100% of the people are going to say yes, you you explain clearly what we're doing. You have a calm delivery. You're comfortably silent. You don't have to talk and keep filling in this silence, right? Silence isn't rejection, it's processing. Allow people to process and be quiet. I've done a lot of media training, like how do you do TV shows? And one of the things that's interesting, and I know some people do this, is that when they get done talking, they don't know how to just stop talking. They fill it up with, and yeah, like that, They don't know how to just stop. And that's the one thing is when I'm talking to people, I've learned when I ask some really intense questions, like, what would your life be like in 6 months if you don't make these changes? Being quiet in that silence is uncomfortable for some people, but it's allowing the other person to think and to process. You need to be the master of asking questions. Okay, you guys, the bottom line is you're not selling anything, you are presenting a model, either a shopping model or a business model. Have you ever looked at it like that? You're presenting a business model. This is how we do business, as opposed to the 10 people Patty listed off. Herbalife, ACN, Advocare, Isogenics, Amway, It Works, whatever. This is our model. And they get to choose if you present it clearly. And really professionals will evaluate it and leaders will attract. This is how you build longevity. There are going to be those people, no matter what you present, they're in their little group. And even though our business model and our systems are amazing and our compensation plan will outbeat any MLM, they're so tied into the emotional part of their company, they don't see it. And they won't change until they've hit their rock bottom, right? So there's always going to be that. Always remember the people that you're talking to have an emotional investment where they are right now. And it's not a quick change. Oh, this makes so much better sense. It's not. They've invested time. A lot of them invested money. It's hard to say, oh my gosh, I've made a mistake. What am I doing here at ABC Company, right? Thank you. The bottom line, you guys, is that you have to be better. We all have to be better about being intentional about talking to business builders, people that you want to build, people that have a good following, they have a good work ethic, not people that are, living in their car. And I don't mean to be rude about that because there's some amazing people after COVID got in their car, but you have to realize, who do you want to be with every day? Who is the person that you're looking for? Who's the type of person that you are looking for? And have you ever really written that down? I just saw an exercise where they said, go into ChatGPT and say, this is who I am. These are the kinds of people I like. Help me define what kind of business partner I need. Do that. Say, this is my personality. What is the best business partner for me? And see what it comes up with. This other group that I'm in, they're starting to post those things. That was the direction that we were given to do. And I thought that's interesting to do that. And do it. And then go find that person. Attraction marketing is people wanting to find out more about you based on what you do. This is on social media. This is being in John goes to the chamber, stuff like this. You have to open your mouth as to who you are for people to be interested in you. Right? The ideal Melaleuca business partner, often referred to as a marketing executive or independent business builder, exhibits a combination of traits focused on customer referral
I'm
and
going to
long-term
share it
commitment.
with you, Sandy. This is what I
Well, you just posted this for everybody.
Yeah, I posted it for everybody. Yep.
Yeah. Um, let me find what some people have written, what Chat GPT said to them. Which I thought was interesting that they started posting those things. It's pretty darn cool. Does anybody have any comments or questions?
I was going to ask if you could go back to like the third slide before that, the one about confidence. I wanted to write that down, but
Sure.
you can maybe do it after.
Yeah, I'll do it here in a second.
Okay,
I
thanks,
also have
Melissa.
a PDF worksheet for you guys that I'm gonna post right here, for you to work through it. Um, Hold on, let me see. Um, well, I can't find it now. Hold on, let me post this in here, and then let me go back to
Sandy, are you recording this? Because I was late. I was enrolling somebody.
Actually, I did.
Oh, great. Okay, I can re-watch it from the beginning. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to close this out. So everyone say bye.
Bye.
For those of you that are watching, I'm going to post the PDF workbook thing here. So watch